every day is different. I don't know where I'm going to be. It's like if someone asked me 7 years ago, do you think you'd be doing this? I thought, no, probably not. I'm not there for the big profits. Me and my dad have worked extremely hard to get to where we are. So it's to keep that going. It was at a very challenging time because my children were very small at the time. The youngest was only in primary 6 or 7.
Okay.
And, sorry, not the youngest, the eldest was only in primary 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And the youngest one was going into nursery.
Right, okay.
So between getting them up for school, driving them to school, going to do the cash and carry, picking up my dad, driving to our restaurant, getting the restaurant started, doing the school run, like as in waiting for the lunch to start, that was in Paisley Road West. By the time we had all the peoples coming in, I would then have to nip out, go home, drop my wee one to nursery, come back, do another 2 hours, go back, pick up the rest of my children from the other school, because they were in primary school at the time.
Yeah.
Pick them up, take them home, go back, get their food sorted, go back, deliver it, come back, do a shift till about 11.
What?
And
11
then get
p.m.?
home,
And do it all over again.
and then
the next
do
day.
it all over again.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Judge Reviews podcast, the show where Glasgow superstars sit in the hot seat and tell their story. Before we dive in, big shout out to the legends who keep the show cooking, Steak Lunch and Grill, the original Mr. Chef, Figo's and Halal Kebab House keeping it halal. With support from Send Location, our marketing partner of choice. And if anyone's asking about shop fit outs, Quantum Builders are who I'd recommend. If you mention Judge Podcast, I'm sure he'll give you a discount. Okay, so today's guest is responsible for half of Glasgow abandoning cereal. Her parathas are flakier than a cancelled ScotRail train. Her saag is smoother than most chat-up lines, and her chai is strong enough to have folk questioning their life choices. Desi Dhaba Chaiwala's very own Zaitoon. Welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Welcome.
And John, thanks for joining as well.
I'm back.
Sound like Arnold Schwarzenegger.
I know.
From Team U. But yeah, no, good to have you on. And I won't talk about the food yet because I have tried it. So for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't know you, who is Zaitoon?
I'm just an ordinary woman, just going through life and
No.
trying to make a lot of things happen.
Yeah, I think you're far from ordinary. But before we come to some of the interesting things that you've done, what was your upbringing like, or what did you aspire to be when you were younger?
Well, to be honest, middle child, grew up with 7 siblings.
Seven?
Yeah, 7. So we've got like, I'm smack bang in the middle. So we've got like 3 above, 3 below. My twin, we've got a brother. So,
Wow.
and upbringing was fine. I grew up in Pollokshiels.
Yeah.
So it's always where we've been, in Glasgow, in Shields. So it was a great time.
Yeah.
It was a great upbringing.
7, but that's a lot of siblings.
That is.
So did you have like favourites when growing up, or did you all fight, or how was the house like?
House was a very busy house, but we grew up, obviously, we're children of the 80s, so we were that generation that went out most of the time and came back when the lights were out. When the lights came on, we came home.
Yeah, I'm from the 80s as well, actually.
Yeah, well, there you go. So it was a lot of, it's a lot of fun.
Yeah, those were the days when you just had a plan to meet somebody somewhere, and you'd have no way of knowing if they'd turn up.
You just knew where you had to be and you were there.
Yeah. Times have changed so much. Nowadays, kids don't get off their iPads.
Yep, absolutely.
Their phones, Roblox. Like, they don't have a clue about how to even knock on someone's door to see if their friend's in.
Nope, you're right.
They don't know any of that. So, when you were younger, obviously going through school and so on, what was the plans then for yourself? What was your ambitions back then?
Absolutely none, because like I said, I was a middle child.
Yeah.
See, when you're a middle child, the expectations are with the first few older ones. So by the time they get to you, they're like, they decided the first one's going to be a doctor and the second one's going to be something, like maybe a scientist.
Yeah, obviously.
By the time the third one, it'll be something. By the time you get to the fourth one, you don't really care what they're going to do.
As long as they're happy.
As long as they're there, they're existing. So, and even in school, I literally only attended for the sake of attending, because if I didn't attend, they'd take my parents to court. So for me, it was like, went to Bellaston Academy, loved it. Why did I love it? Well, it wasn't because of the education, it was just because my pals were at school. So I was there till about 16.
Yeah.
Left school, joined Langside College again, not for education purposes, just because I met a friend there and me and her decided, right, the other option is stay at home. And just do the housework, or we can just come to college and mess with it and just be, and just do something. So I remember going in and choosing a course. Funnily enough, it turns out the course actually helped.
Okay.
It was N3 Business,
Okay.
which at the time I only chose because it was the only one I can get into.
Yeah.
So went into it, did the first year, smashed it. So thought, okay, that's great. Now what do we do next year? Decided, well, still don't want to do housework, so let's go back. Let's go apply for the HNC. Did that.
Good.
Passed the exams.
Yeah.
Again, third year, got the diploma, nailed it. And then I thought, right, we've come this far, let's start taking it a wee bit seriously.
Yeah,
okay.
of course.
So applied to university, did my degree, got
Amazing.
the degree, and then from there it was just find a job and work.
So you must have really not wanted to do housework.
I don't know, for sure.
No, it was just...
I don't know what my wife's excuse is. Because she's not doing degrees.
I was just surrounded by very good friends. So when I was in college, I had a really good group of friends.
Yeah.
And it was just really that.
Okay, so you went to university, you got a business degree,
Yep.
and you must have at some point thought, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, and then I'm a business student.
No, actually I
Aye.
didn't, because with me, it's... a friend of mine had a job in the Home Office.
Okay.
So I applied for a job in Cowcaddens in the British Passport Office,
Wow.
and I got it.
Right.
So we were in the department where they were actually making the passports, and people don't realise how much of a process it actually is.
Aye.
It's not just from your end you're sending your passport,
Yeah.
and from their end they've got 25, 30 processes.
Wow.
We were in the one where they actually print them. So
Okay.
I enjoyed that job as well. I did that for about a year as well.
So you went to there where they made passports. Surely people must have asked you, can you get us one?
Oh, aye, all the time. All the time.
Oh, that's crazy.
It was almost like, it's not, flapjacks, you just grab one and bring it home.
There you go.
It's not like wee brownies and cookies, I'll just buy you two and that's
Aye.
it. So, yeah, that was one. If I got a fiver for every time I was asked that,
Aye.
I'd be hella rich.
Okay, so you've done the passport office. So what happens next?
Next, it was the usual thing in the Asian community. I got married,
Okay.
had children,
Okay.
had another child, had quite a few children.
Aye, don't say 7.
No. Mashallah, only 5.
Mashallah, that's good.
Yeah, and then so for about a good 10 to 12 years, I was just a stay-at-home mum.
Aye.
So watched my children, raised them.
Yeah.
And after that, my dad opened a restaurant and I helped him. So
And this is the restaurant we're going to talk about? No, okay.
No, that was something totally different.
Brilliant. So let's talk about, what you're saying resonates, because I know a lot of people that have had children and they've dedicated themselves to their children, which is good, because sometimes children miss out on things.
Of course.
So you've done all that. So what happens next then? Do you get involved with this business?
With the one that I'm in now? Or
No,
the
from the
so
one
the
you...
previous one? Yeah, so we decided to do that together.
Okay.
But it was at a very challenging time because my children were very small at the time. The youngest was only in primary 6 or 7.
Okay.
And sorry, not the youngest, the eldest was only in primary 6 or 7.
Yeah.
And the youngest one was going into nursery.
Right, okay.
So between getting them up for school, driving them to school, going to do the cash and carry, picking up my dad, driving to our restaurant, getting the restaurant started, doing the school run, as in waiting for the lunch to start because it was in Paisley Road West. By the time we had all the pupils coming in,
Aye.
I would then have to nip out, go home, drop my wee one to nursery, come back, do another 2 hours, go back, pick up the rest of my children from the other school because they were in primary school at the time.
Yeah.
Pick them up, take them home, go back, get their food sorted, go back, deliver it, come back, do a shift till about 11,
What?
And
11
then get
p.m.?
home,
And do it all over again
and then
the next
do
day.
it all over again. And I
That's
did that for
crazy.
about a good part of, I remember the first month was teething stages, so we were just getting started. But after about 3 months, I don't think I took a day off. I literally did that for a whole year.
Wow.
So what was the place called, can you say?
Cafe Sizzler.
Cafe Sizzler. So is that, what kind of
It's
food was
where, so
that?
see now where you've got the big shawarma grill, that's where we were. And it was your conventional restaurant takeaway style.
Aye.
Yeah, it was just your pizzas, burgers, your curries. It's like what you can get everywhere else.
Okay, so that, is that more like takeaway style or like sit-in?
It was a sit-in as well.
Aye.
It was a sit-in slash takeaway.
What?
No,
I was just
John,
curious.
you're going to have to cut in because I'll keep talking.
No, I'm curious though, because it sounds that was really, really challenging, but I'd be curious to know, like, working so closely with your dad. Like, I can imagine that, like, there was probably days where you thought, "Oh, this is a challenge," but equally, looking back on it now, like, there must have been so many good memories of like just being so close to them. Like, what was that like?
Well, see, initially it was my dad, my big sister, and me.
Right.
And my big sister's like, she's like a Scorpio, right? So she's very, she can be, you know what Scorpios are like. So she's very emotional, and I don't mean that in a bad way, but what I mean is, she always felt like, see, when we were at work, she would get very like, I think it would get overwhelming sometimes for her.
Yeah.
And I'm very, straightforward and very. So even though we were working in that, she could only do it to a certain point. I think working too close with family was getting to a point where it was very challenging.
Yeah.
So after a few months, she left it. And then it was just me and my dad. But again, it was my dad was the main cook and he was doing all that part. So I didn't have a lot to do it.
Yeah.
As you can tell, I'm a bit of a talker. So with him, it was a case of like, okay, you go chat to the customers. You go. So for me, we weren't really closely working.
Okay.
We were together, but not in each other's faces.
Yeah. No, it's interesting because I think like I used to work in restaurants when I was younger, and I always think when I look back, like there was so many nights where you just think like a busy restaurant, or just that one shift that you think you could have broke, but equally you laugh about it because you think like,
oh yeah, no, don't get me wrong. See, with the business I'm in now, me and my dad working together, we clashed so many times with with decision making. Because I know what I want. We were equally into this, and it was like I know what I want. He knows what he wants, but he's coming from a traditional time, whereas I'm coming more from a modern time, thinking, okay, this is what we lot want. So between what he wants and what I want, me being more stubborn now because he's a bit older, I get away with it.
So see, speaking of cultures, what's it like then when, and I experience this more now with my kids, when I'm seeing something and they're in a different planet. What was it like for you then when your dad's thinking of maybe back home kind of ways of doing things and you're thinking, oh, this is how we do it here? How do you find that?
It's a big compromise because you need to see, my dad's a legend for many. And what he says, I mean, he's got an idea. I know where he's coming from. I can't just disregard it because, Dad, you're just back in the times. I need to understand that he's not just talking, he's talking with experience. And that experience didn't just come. It's been there for a very, very long time. So it's acknowledging, okay, what he's saying, but logically, how does it fit with here? So I'll give you a quick example. Like, my dad, even now, due to health issues, I've got him taking a wee break. But if it was up to my dad right now, he'd have 50 dabas opened. But I'm limiting it. I'm like, no, we're not doing that. And it's not because we can't. Because what we have in our restaurant isn't just a conventional restaurant. And you cannot replicate that. People say, oh, why don't you open here? Why don't you open there? I could open 10 tomorrow if I wanted. But I choose not to because there's not another me and there's not another my dad. We know how we run our business. And our business, if we're talking about food, to be honest with you guys, food is a need, it's a necessity. When we talk about food, what happens? If we were to close tomorrow, do you think our customers would stop eating and go on a hunger strike? Of course they wouldn't. They'd find another place. They'd adapt to that style and they would enjoy themselves. Because food is a necessity, it's a need. What happens is we're not just giving you food, we are giving you a space. When people come to ours, it's a home away from home. I love, I'm lying, I don't like steak, right? Because I'm one of those people that go to a steakhouse and order like chicken fillet. So I'm even admitting that, right? But the thing is, if you were to go out, you wouldn't be able to eat. Some people can, I'm sure, right? But you wouldn't be able to eat steak 7 days a week. Once a week maybe, or once a month even. House food is something you can eat all the time. I used to always wonder, like, I don't know about yourself, but from my experience of growing up and anyone that grew up in our generation, we didn't experience takeaways until we were past the age of 15. Because we weren't allowed to have them. And the only thing we probably had every other day was chapati. We had our roti, we had our rice, we had our we had our salads, but that was it. And we were having them regularly. Now, we were having them regularly. We never ever once turned around and said to our parents, I'm not eating this.
No.
You weren't given that opportunity. You were told, we just knew this is the food that's made. We didn't, our parents never even asked us, what do you want
for dinner?
And what do you know when you've got children? What you'll know is probably the question you've asked your children more than any other. What do you want to eat? what do you want to eat?
It's the worst thing.
It's the worst thing ever. I say, I don't mind cooking, just don't let me, I don't want to have to think about what we're making.
No, it's worse when they all want to do experiments. They're burning toast and scones, and someone's making eggs, and
Yep.
and in our time, it was, this is what's made to eat. So be grateful it's there and eat it.
Yeah.
And that was your dinner. Whereas these days, the kids are just, I don't know, maybe it's our fault for
It is our fault.
making
No, it's
them,
completely our fault.
making times different for them
Yeah.
than
No,
what we
because
had.
we've tried to give them what we didn't have.
Yeah.
Not realising that our time was still better. And I know I sound like a dinosaur saying this, because everyone at that time says, oh yeah, but we know better. But it's not. It's what we had. We've tried to in every department, not only in food and not only in nutrition, but also in terms of environment, friendships, socialising. We have tried to give our children what we never had,
True.
and not realising that that's a mistake.
No, you're right. It's that saying about hard times make hard people, then hard people make soft times and soft people.
Yep.
So then you're always worrying.
It's quite deep.
It's just a quote.
I like it.
That's not mine.
I like it.
Yeah.
So, see the place in Paisley Road West then. So, what happened with that then? How did that?
It was 2 years, and like I said, it was extremely challenging for me as well.
Aye.
And it was getting to a point where I was getting burnt out, because I had been doing this for almost 2 years now. Kids were still small, so I decided, there was a few people that were interested in buying it as well. So my dad and me decided, we'll just let this one go.
Yeah.
And that's what I did, just let it go.
Aye. So, see your dad, speaking of your dad, I've met him, haven't I?
I think you might have, yeah.
I kept saying to him, are you the owner? And he was
Yeah.
like, no, owner's not here and it.
My dad's just funny that way.
I had a feeling he was pulling my leg, but I
Yeah,
wasn't
my
sure.
dad is that. He's a bit funny that way. He's very humble, do you know what it is?
Aye.
And it's like me. If you walk into my restaurant and you saw me there, you wouldn't think I'm the owner. I have a confidence about myself, fair enough, but I wipe tables, I pick up mess, I'm doing that. I'm not.
You're doing all the graft.
I don't do. Yeah, I do it,
Yeah.
and sometimes like my own staff start like looking at me and being like, "What are we here for?" You know, so it'll be faster then.
That's true.
It'll be that wee bit faster,
So
and I won't need to do it.
Aye.
But see the women that I've got working for me, they're amazing. They really, really are. And it's because they care too much. It's almost like, but why are you paying the rest of them? And it's not that like I said, I'm very down to earth. I don't have airs and graces. It's work needs to be done.
Yeah.
So it needs to be done. I don't wait to see, just because I've got, hired help and I'm going to be like, okay, I'm paying you, you need to do this.
Yeah.
If there's something needs to be done and we've got a busy restaurant, I'm not going to be waiting on anyone. I'm going to be doing that job myself.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Are you one of them ones? If someone's talking, you say talk and work with your hands at the same time?
I am.
I know.
I am.
Afra's the same.
I am.
This is a
I
lesson.
don't mind. I don't mind. Like I said, it's I'm actually a very easygoing boss. Very, very easygoing boss.
Okay.
No, I am. The reason
Sounds like it.
I can't wait to see the comments on this.
No. The reason I actually say that is because those who know me will be like, "You're a bit too easygoing."
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. So before we get to the famous Desi Dhaba Chaiwala, your dad's backstory. So what's he done? So I'm assuming he came here.
My dad came to this country when he was 12.
Okay.
And he went straight to England, and he was there and did the textile mills, and he did a few jobs around that time.
Yeah.
He had a friend who was in Glasgow, and he got married to this woman here, and he said to my dad, right, so this is where you can see where the apple don't fall far from the tree. But his friendship was like, you're coming with me to Scotland. Okay. So my dad moved here to Scotland.
Yeah.
And then my dad did like what most parents did in those generations. They did the buses, they did the restaurants. So my dad started off doing the buses, doing a few other odd jobs. And then he started working in the restaurants, the ones that were there back in the day, the Kohinoor or the Baghdad. Like, I don't know if that exists now.
I know it's gone.
But these ones used to exist then. Ashoka and all the rest of it. So he was in the catering side from the beginning. And in the early 90s, if I was to say a few of the things that my dad's done, so the Shandar that everyone loves and goes for their thing, before it was Shandar, it was Pan House.
Okay.
And that was in 1992, if I'm not wrong. We even had the Pakistani cricket team come in there for bands.
No way.
Yeah,
Wow,
yeah. And
that's
we
so
were only,
cool.
I remember like I was only like 13 at the time. and it was Jawed, Mia, Dad, and another one. And I, like 12, 13, didn't know who these people are. But my dad had sent them, they were playing in the Clydesdale Cricket Club.
Aye.
And my dad had sent them to the shop. And me and my younger sister were in there. And they're like, we're here to get this and we're here to get that. And we're like, here you go, and just giving and selling and stuff. And,
Aye.
you know, giving away their sugar. We were only 12 and 13, we were working. No, there was another authorised person.
Okay.
There were other authorised adults. We weren't just handling a shop at the age of 13. But it's like, that Shandar shop was First Pan House.
Aye.
And my dad had, so Cafe Risha at the moment was also my dad's. Started it up, yep.
No way.
He's done Gripals at a stage as well.
Oh, I remember
Sangam Wedding Hall.
Oh,
A lot of people got married in there.
I got married there.
Oh, there you go. That was my dad.
Aye.
So he's had a lot.
Small world.
The Kaka Sweet Centre also belonged to my dad at
No
one
way,
point.
you're
Yep.
kidding me.
That was in 1997, around that time.
Bloody
So
hell.
my dad has this thing where he's been extremely, extremely successful,
Yeah.
but unfortunately he's not been sustainable. So every time he's had a business, due to being, maybe it's his culture in terms of, it's been unfortunate, but most people in his generation have this thing of where you're torn. When you have family back home, but you also have family here,
Yeah.
if you can't be in one place, you're never going to be successful. He was never grounded. So because of that, even though his businesses have been big successes, he's never been able to keep them going.
And do you feel, you coming into the frame, obviously at an older age, to help him? Can you look at him now and see that change in him? In terms of like his character and like how he's maybe
he's still
slowed down a bit, maybe?
He
or
has slowed down a wee bit, but that's only because we forced him to slow down. Like I said, see, my dad, he's like one of those, he's like those Duracell ads, do you know, where you see him, where
And he
just
runs
keep
off.
going.
Aye.
It's, we need to put him down and be like, look, you need to take a back seat. You need to, because he doesn't rest. He's one of those, he's
Just
from
wants to
that
keep going and
generation.
going and
He's
going.
from that generation that doesn't know how to sit.
Yeah.
Okay, so he's done a lot of businesses, and then you've done the one in Paisley Road together. So, how does Desi Dhaba come around? You know, before we even talk about, maybe what came first, the concept or the idea of finding another restaurant?
So it was actually quite funny. So about 8-9 years ago, my dad had just turned 65 at the time.
Okay.
And my younger brother, the one you know, was saying, Dad, you've worked a lifetime and it's time we look after you.
Aye.
So he had decided that my dad was now going to take a wee break.
Okay.
My dad thought it was quite hilarious and kind of just humoured us all. And he went, okay. And he says, my dad goes, I've got bills. How am I going to, sustain myself? I'm not working.
Aye.
And he's like, I've got an idea. You've got 7 children. Come on, we're all going to chip in and that.
Yeah.
So, okay, so we made a wee WhatsApp group and we're like, yeah, let's go. Let's start giving mum and dad money, right? So 25 quid each. We were all just going to put that aside for a week. So we started doing that. The first few weeks, it was going great. Everyone put in. Another week, somebody was a wee bit short. Another week, somebody else was a wee bit short.
Aye.
Got to about 3 months and my dad went, like, okay, I'll let you have your fun, but this is not going to work.
Yeah.
And then he kind of turned to me and me and my dad were like, we're really, really close. So he was like, he kind of gave me an ultimatum. He goes, he knows how to push my buttons. So he was like,
Yeah.
either me and you do some form of business. He didn't say what. He just goes, either we do some form of business or I'm going to go work for somebody. And that is, the minute he said,
Aye,
going to go
triggered
work
you.
for something, that was like, no, you're not.
No
You've never
chance.
worked for nobody because he can't work for anyone. He's tried, he can't.
Yeah.
Like maybe in the early years when he was like in his 20s, when he was a child. But, a young man, then fair enough. But since he's been married and since he had his own businesses, he wasn't going to. So I was like to him, no, I'm not, going to have you
I'm not
working
gonna see
for
you do
somebody
that.
else.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So just to kind of keep him like, we thought, right, well, let's just try and... So came up with this idea. A friend of mine said, why don't you start doing this food from home? At that time, nobody was doing it. I was like, okay. So I went, right, Dad, this is what we're going to do. We're going to make a wee Facebook page.
Aye.
I'm just going to say, and he goes, what are you going to say? I'm like, I'm just going to say, who wants food? That's it. And that's what I
hungry?
did.
Yeah.
So who's hungry? And I says, and then I worked it in a way where I was like, tomorrow's orders, we're making pasta and we're making biryani. Posted it on Facebook and a few people got in touch. Well, yeah, I'd like some. Okay, fair enough. So I knew how many people had confirmed they want food.
Yeah.
So me and Dad went cash and carry, grabbed a few items, made it, boxed it, put it in a car, delivered it to their house. Started from there. We did that on and off for 2 years. Just just to keep him, something to keep him kind of...
ticking over and...
ticking over, just a wee bit occupied.
Mm.
Got to the point, 6 months into it, everyone's like, you need to open your own place, I'm like, oh, for God's sake, right, okay, fine. So then my dad, like, we were looking around, and they came across the car wash, the Zach's Burgers, do you know that place there? That's where we were. So there was a wee snack bar in there. Now that snack bar, everyone that ever had it prior to us never lasted more than like 3 months. It was always like somebody's in there, but they can never sustain it.
Yeah.
So we went in there, and my dad looked at it and he goes, what do you think? I went, yeah, that's fine. Okay, let's go. So we got it. A month passed. My dad started paying rent for it, but we weren't in it yet. I was working because I was a youth worker at the time. So second month passed, third. We got to 7 months, and my dad loves giving ultimatums. Once again, he was like, okay, it's 7 months. We either, kiss the rent goodbye that we've paid for 7 months, or we get into it. Once again, it was like, damn it. So that, fine, okay, let's open up, right? So again, we had lots of ideas, very talented as a family. Didn't really much have the finances, but then I'm also a calculated risk taker. Whereas I see my dad, he doesn't think about it. The way he sees it, let's just jump in. Whereas with me, it's like, let's jump in, but let's get a life jacket.
Yeah.
So I was like, Tim, okay, let's do this. If we're starting this, let's try to do it in a way where we are still taking a risk, but we're protected. So let's not go all daft and spend money we don't have, which is true because we didn't have that much. So got in there. And we looked at ideas like we can't just have a snack bar because that's fair enough for us to cook in there. But where's customers going? So after exhausting a few ideas and saying, okay, let's try this, came down to we're still skin. Right? So what we did was I says, okay, let's start looking on Facebook Marketplace. Found a gazebo, a big garden gazebo. Got it, joined it onto the snack bar.
Okay.
Found a joiner, cheap as chips, but he was reliable. He did the job. Got wood chip, put it round. Found a wee door someone had thrown outside. Got a few hinges, got it put on. Put a wee lock onto it. Had a wee dabba.
No way.
Yep. And
That's
the
amazing.
funny thing was, that's where the name comes from. Dabba means roadside diner. But we had that name before we even went into that place. I had made the Facebook page as Desi Dhaba and originally, and that's what it was, just Desi Dhaba. But once we opened, there was that conflicting generation that keep calling it a dabba. Some people still think it's a dabba. It's not a box, guys. Dabba means box. We are not just a dabba, even though that wee shack was like a wee box. It was dabba. So we got into it, and my sister's very artistic, so she was doing, she fitted the carpet for me. She put like some material on the roof to make it look really snazzy. And before we knew it, we were up and running. We found a few tables. And there was a wee computer shop in Argyle Street that were selling their chairs for £1. And they were colourful chairs. They were like yellow, purple, pink. I went, that's it, Dabba theme. That's it. This is what we want.
That's the vibe, yeah.
That's the vibe, so that's what we did. So picked them up. And before we knew it, under a very teeny tiny budget, we were open.
No way.
And we
That's
just
incredible.
started trading.
That's good.
I know.
It shows you what you can do.
Yeah. And the funny thing was, the concept, everyone kept saying, oh my God, such a great idea. How did you come up with this? And me and my dad just looking like, but this is what we wanted to do. It's like, we're just doing homegrown food the way you have at home.
Yeah.
And this is another thing people don't realise sometimes. So when it comes to food, everyone can make it. And I guarantee you there's so many people that can make it so much better than us. But the point isn't about being better than someone.
Yeah.
It's about being relatable. We have people coming into our dabba. We've had grown men and even some women start crying when they've had their first bite because their mums have been passed off. Like their mothers have passed off and are no longer here. And as soon as they've had it, they're like, this is the way my mum cooked it. They go, this is the way my mum made it. So for us, it's not about how good we are. We need people. We need the older generation come in. When I have people like mum parents' age coming in, that means far more to me than a young one. Now, it doesn't mean I'm saying young ones don't come, please come, need you as well. But at the same token, what I'm saying is the actual, reward and the actual vision is when you've got that generation coming in. Because they're the generation that don't want to spend the money outside because they know they can cook better than you.
Aye.
But if they're coming in and actually saying, this is amazing, and eating from yourself something, that means a lot.
And is that so? I'm assuming it was popular, and I'm going to guess, did you move because you wanted more seating?
Yeah, we had to because the space was not able to. Like, we were there, but see, just when we started, COVID hit.
Okay.
Right,
And that kind of hit us. Like, I was like, I remember at the time saying, right, Dad, COVID's hit, right, and we can't do this no more. And he goes, what do you mean? He goes, but they're not saying restaurants. Like, and keep in mind, we were in a tiny shack at the time. Nobody even knew who we were.
Aye.
And I went, yes, but who's going to come? We didn't have, like I said, we had tons of talent, but we didn't exactly have money to do branding and stuff.
Yeah.
So people that knew us were the ones that were our previous customers or the ones that had just got to know us, you know, and that was it. There wasn't anybody else. We didn't have that advertising, that reach, or for people to be like, oh, who is Desi Dhaba? So I remember at the time saying to my dad, like, if anything happens to you, like, that, it's not worth it. Right, so back home, we were there for about 4 weeks, and after 4 weeks, my dad got that wee ultimatum out again. He goes, come on, we can't just stay here. We need to get back to it. I was like, fine. So we went back and started working, and I was like, well, what are we going to do?
Aye.
Like, people aren't allowed to do sit-ins anymore, and that's when I had the idea. I said to my dad, right, okay, we're going to do this. Let's go Desi. He goes, what do you mean? I went, well, we're in a car wash. They can't trade because they're not important. Like, you know, it's not an important business.
One of those things.
So I spoke to the landlord, and he was really kind, and he actually did say, he goes, yeah, you can use my car park. So I put on the page, come, and I've got, if you go onto our page, you actually see hundreds of pictures of everyone eating. So what we were doing was giving them the food, taking it to the cars, so they're getting the outdoor experience,
Oh, right, wow.
but in the privacy of their own safe space, listening to their own music,
I like that.
and their own wee heaters on, and enjoying their food.
That's quite a good idea.
We actually came up with it before people did, even in England. But again, we had no money, we had no reach, so we have no way of proving it. But that concept, because then a few weeks later, people were doing it in England, and they've got their little trays and like drive-throughs and this and that. And I'm like, oh my good God! I was like, Dad, do you see that? And like, I've always said to my dad, I says, look, we're trendsetters, not followers. And what's happened, especially with my dad as well, is we start things, but the main scope is not there. Like, you're never going to have that focus of people saying, this is this. Now, you've had a few guests in here, and, you know, most people, if you ask them, they will tell you about my dad. They, like, a few of the big names now even started off with my dad.
Aye. No, I believe that, because when you mention some of the other restaurants, I can think of people like there was Uncle Chima back in the day. There was Imtiaz. There's a few names I can think of relating to those businesses. So I never knew that.
Yeah, even till now, you had Raheem on your show a few days ago, a few weeks ago, and every time he comes to the Dhaba, he still grabs my dad and, Uncle, you give me my first you give me my first wages, and you know, and he thinks so highly of my dad.
Aye.
You know, he's got a lot of respect for my dad.
Aye. No, it was actually good chatting to him, because I only bumped into him twice. And once was when I was buying food in his place, and then he came out and started saying "Kidda," and I goes, "That's that guy I seen once before in the cash and carry." And he started saying, "Bro, come and I'll give you a spread of food and you can do a review." And I'm like, "No, I'm doing a review." He goes, "With what?" I goes, "That food that I've ordered." And he's like, "Oh, is that how you do it?" I goes, "Yes." Because you know yourself, I came in, I buy the food,
right.
and I do it, and he was shocked. But no, I got to know him. He was quite nice. And then he came on, and that was good. So you done the drive-through thing, and then how did that eventually end up next to Strawberry Garden?
So obviously a year into it, we were finding the Dhaba was very tiny. It can hold up to 20 people max. That's all we could hold up at one time. But because of where we were, it was cold.
Yeah.
We were inside a car wash. In the winter, the pipes would freeze, and there was a lot of issues. So we knew we were going to have to expand. Got to a point where I was thinking, do I want to do this? Like, it was great. You know, it was a nice wee run.
Yeah.
And again, it was just a decision. A friend of mine came to me and said, look, there's these premises I've seen. You think you're interested? So I said to my dad at the time, do you want to go see it? He goes, look, I'm busy, you go. So I went and I seen that, and it was massive.
Aye.
It's like, what are we going to do in a place like this? There's no way we can...
Yeah.
But showed my dad, made a wee video, showed it to him, and he goes, yeah, why not? Let's just bite the bullet and do it. So
Go
we
for
did it. Got it all done up and everything else. And it turned out that even though it could hold up to about 90 people comfortably, like on Christmas Day, Eid Day, Mother's Day, it's not enough.
Aye.
Yeah.
So
That's amazing.
tell me, so you mentioned Desi Dhaba, the Dhaba, or Dhaba now, how it should be pronounced.
It should be Daba, yeah.
Dhaba. When did Chaiwala get added on?
So, see, just before we got into... So, when we were doing it from the house, it was just Desi Dhaba. And then when we moved into the car wash, my dad, what we realised was a lot of people would say Dabba, Dabba, Dabba. And it was like, damn it, these people are just not getting it. It's a Dabba, not a Dabba, Dabba. So, try to explain to them. And then we thought, right, my dad says, look, why don't we add Chaiwala? Because the connotations of Chaiwala, as initially you think of chai. So even though we were already doing breakfast, but having people, if you just heard Dabba, you wouldn't assume, you would think of a box, but a box can be used for anything.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we thought, we add Chaiwala, they'll be forced to think it's got something to do with chai. So those that knew that what a Dabba was were like, Desi Dhaba Chaiwala. Of course, it makes sense. For those that didn't, they knew it was something to do with tea.
Yeah.
Okay.
So see, before I move on, tea itself, chai, like you do different kinds of chai?
No, I like to stick to, like, okay, we'll offer you green tea, we'll offer you Kashmiri tea, but our heart lies in, and the one that we make is your correct Desi chai.
Yeah. No, I had that. I remember it was nice. It's some places when you have it, I don't know how to describe the taste, but it doesn't have a certain taste. I call it a clay kind of taste. Maybe I don't know if it's made in something like that. I said that to someone and he's laughed at me. But there is a certain taste. If it's done nice, it's got through it.
Yeah, we make it in a handy, in a big pot.
Aye.
That's what we do. We actually cook it in a big pot and then we put it into an urn to keep it warm.
Aye. An urn. It almost sounds like, what's that thing you put ashes in?
It is an urn, is it not?
Is that what you put it in?
Aye.
Is that not what we put? What is it?
You
Is
put
it-
ashes in an urn. Aye, you do. Aye.
You put tea in an urn.
what's the other thing? The salsa in an urn? The one that you
I think
put-
so. Like the big.
Aye.
Aye, I know what you're talking about. Aye.
Completely
Aye.
threw me off there. I'm like,
I'm thinking of wrestling now, the Undertaker with the urn.
I don't know. You just completely threw me. Even I'm thinking, like, is that even the
No,
right
he's
word?
making up words here.
I don't know. I just thought, like, maybe I've just got it wrong there. Like, oh my God.
Whoops. And so, what would you say is the hardest part of running a food business that no one sees?
The hardest part is, this is what people don't realise. When you're doing a food business, whether it be a restaurant or just one side of it, there's a lot of processes. So the thing is, if I'm running my restaurant, I also do the cooking. Now, if I'm also doing the cooking, I'm also like, I wear tons of hats. So when I'm at work, if I've got someone else doing the cooking, that's great. But I'm also doing the cash and carry. I'm also doing waiting on tables. I'm also the filling in. I'm also the dishwasher. I'm also the mechanic at times. It just depends.
Aye.
If things are breaking, I can't afford to just keep getting people
Yeah.
out.
Aye.
So you learn as you go along. And what people don't realise is everyone's got an individual taste. We as, I cannot turn around and if someone says to me, I don't like your food, I can't turn around and say, well, you're lying because I think I cook amazing.
Aye.
Because the thing is, everyone's got a different taste.
Yeah.
And it's not necessary everyone is going to like what you... there's a lot of things that I know. People get me to taste food sometimes.
Aye.
And I'll say, look, this is amazing. I don't like it because I don't eat this thing,
Yeah.
this stuff. However, what you've made is great on its own. It's not my preference.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I am very open to the fact if someone says 9 out of 10 times people love our food, you'll get that one person that'll say they don't, and I'll go, okay, well, what's wrong with it? Do you want
How
it
can you learn
taken
from
up?
it?
Do you want
Yeah.
it taken down? What was, and then once they tell me, I think it's like this or it should be done like this. Okay, next time you come in, let us know,
Yeah.
and we'll use it up to how you want it.
Yeah.
We'll take it in, just depending on what you need. And they'll come back, and I say, if you come back the second time and you still don't think, maybe we're not the place for you.
Yeah.
And I don't hesitate in saying that because I'm not. To be honest, see, when I talk about when we first opened, there was nobody else doing this. We opened before,
Yeah.
like Chaiwala and all these places, my chai, they were all in England, but there was nothing in Scotland
That's
until
right, yeah.
we, like I said, when I talk about trendsetters, we opened up, and again, like I said, God knows best because I don't want to go to hell, right? But at the same token, so when you say something but you don't hear it directly from the horse's mouth,
Aye.
we opened up and we took off like fire. And someone said to me, a reliable source at the time said to me that there was a meeting and the people that have got Prata Box got together and thought, well, if they can do it, a father and daughter, and it's in a shabby wee shack. And why can we not do this?
Yeah.
Now, keep in mind, they had tons of money and they had partners and they had experience and they had everything else. So within a month of us opening, they opened up.
Okay.
They did the branding. They looked amazing. They had the radio ads. They had everything, and people were talking about Paratha box. But we were there in our wee corner saying, "It's all right. This is just
Not
we're
worrying
doing this
about
because this is what we're passionate about." And remembering this is just Dad's wee side gig. This is what I was just keeping him occupied, so he doesn't go out working for somebody else.
Yeah.
But at that time, when we were doing, there was no one. Then Paratha box came on a year later. My chai, Muck chai, Chaiwala came.
blew up.
Then we had Chat Corner, we had Chai this. Pakistani street food was there. Keep in mind, shops have been there for a long time, but no one was doing the breakfast concept.
Aye.
As soon as we got onto it, everyone thought this is not a bad idea. And we know what the Desi culture is like.
Yeah.
One person does it and 20,000 will follow, So,
20,000.
so that's exactly what happened.
So, before I talk about an interesting thing about you, what you touched on that you do for your work or you worked as, maybe, just an off-topic question, because a lot of business owners come in here and then we end up talking about food reviewers, because I do that as a hobby, and a lot of them show me stuff on their phones and they go, people have messaged me saying they want to come in, saying they want free food, or they're saying we'll take this much money in that. Have you experienced stuff like that?
No, not to be honest, no.
Aye.
I've had people come in, and sometimes they come in and they don't even tell us who they are.
Yeah.
Aye.
And unless you're really savvy and you're on it, I work a lot, so I don't really get much time. But if my children see something, that was such and such, that was such and such. But to be honest, people sometimes say, look, I'm a reviewer, can I come in? Nobody ever has actually said, give us free food and we'll...
Yeah.
But if I think, if someone's come in as a gesture, it'll be like, I see everything as a marketing thing. It's advertising. Everything's advertising. If you're putting me on your thing, it's advertising for me. So if I'm giving you a wee free meal, because we're not exactly, we're not exactly the Ritz here. It's not like you're going to be, spending like over $1,000 or something. It's not like Mr. Goldust there that, sprinkle a wee bit thingy.
Salt me.
And that it's like £100 for a burger and whatever else. So, and the thing is, sometimes people will come and I'll just be like, listen, don't charge them unless they insist.
Aye.
Yeah.
If they say, no, we want to, it's okay, by all means. But if they're not really, you can get a wee, feeling of how someone's going to progress with that. So I'm not really, I don't make a big thing of it.
Aye. Well, you clearly didn't when I was there.
I was in there.
You walked out.
I told you, my staff are on it, right? So see, with me, usually when I'm there, I will be like that, but see, my staff, they're really on it. So they're like, yeah, we need to get paid, we need wages.
They know
so they'll
better.
be like, they know. So they're going to make sure that they've got my back when I'm not there.
Aye. No, sorry, I had to get that in. So, touching on what you said, something about, I think you said about support work. So, I've tried to do some research about you because I only heard about you literally when Blavo mentioned your name. And I know you've worked with prisons maybe or people, and that. What is it exactly you do?
So I was a youth worker for YCSA and I've done schoolwork as a volunteer for Amina Muslim Resource Centre. In 2019 I got the opportunity to work with YCSA again, and it was one of my colleagues were leaving and she was doing the prison work, and she put me forward. She went, how would you like to take over from me? I thought, yeah, why not? So I had decided to get a wee bit of training, and I was sent into Pullman to be a BME support worker.
Wow.
So it was only for 3 months, but it was amazing. I loved it. Yep.
What did you take away from that?
Quite a few things. Quite a few things. I actually learned that, see, it's a shame because, and without getting too serious here, but it's like, people are in prison for a reason. Because there's a system that's created. You do something, you're going to get punished for it. It's separating the punishment from the person.
Okay.
Some people are forced into prison for different reasons. People are there for different reasons. It's not just, one glove fits all, one shoe fits all. It literally is a case of somebody can be there because they were too young, too naive, they got into a fight, they were drunk, they were this, they were poor, they needed to steal. It's not a case of they needed to steal, but circumstances are very different. You can't hold judgment. But then there's other people there that have been there for much more heinous crimes. So again, it's when you're there, you have to realise, right, you're not there to be someone's friend. You're there to support them because that's your job role. So when I was in there, I didn't see myself as I'm not going in there like a judgmental person. I'm not the judge. I'm not here to sing. I'm just here to support you.
Yeah.
So it's seeing everyone individually for who they are and seeing how you can support them.
See, as a support worker, though, like what work were you doing when you go in, when you were working?
So when
with
I was in there, it was like meeting these young men, because we were in Pullman. It was a women's prison as well as for men that were under the age of 24.
Right, okay.
So they were all in there from the ages of 18 to 24. So it was dealing with women and men. And it literally was just seeing them, because keep in mind, that I'm a mother myself. My son just turned 24. So for me, it's when I was even working there a few years back, when I see young men, young women, I'm not going to be like, okay, they're 18, they're adults. You still have that maternal instinct. So it's about going in there and actually seeing that, I'm a mother. How would I feel if this was my child? And making it known to them that, okay, I'm not here as your mother. However, I'm a BME support worker. What can I help you with? So they would come with their queries. And it's funny because one of the first clients I had in there was an Albanian. Okay. And I remember he probably thought it was really snooty when he first met me. But I remember, after 3 months when I was leaving, and I can be saying anything right now. There's no one here to verify it. If somebody ever did see me, they would verify it. They were literally like, why you have to leave? And I was like, it's funding. There's no funding in the job anymore. So unfortunately, I need to leave. We'll fund you. I was like, great, I'll be there with you. Like, thank you, but no. But again, it's just being there as a support, keeping judgment away.
Yeah, totally.
Do you think that experience doing stuff like that, do you think that's helped? Has it molded you or changed your outlook on anything?
Yeah, absolutely. It's people are like books. The more you meet, the more you learn. So for me, it's all the people I've encountered in my life, be it through work, be it through education, be it from wherever, you take away something from that. I even had a woman come into the Dhaba because her boy was in prison at the time, and I knew who he was because I was, his support worker. And she was saying to me, she was like, she was upset, she was crying, and she was like, he's had an appeal and nothing's working. And my lawyer said, if you can get someone to give him a reference. So I was like, okay, what do you need from me? She goes, just a letter. So I wrote a letter and he was out.
No way.
Wow.
Because it's about, look, when you meet someone, it's not about lying. It's about talking with intent from what you understand.
Yeah.
So if this person, right, irrespective of what he's done, this, I have to talk about how I was with that person.
Yeah.
How that person conducted themselves in front of me. So if no one's done anything out of line in my presence, and I'm seeing this person, twice a week, 3 times a week for 3 months, I am only going to give you what I know of that person.
Yeah, exactly.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay, interesting. I know some people that might need a letter. I'll talk to you later about that. So, one thing about Desi Dhaba, I'm just old man, I get mixed up now with everything. So, Desi Dhaba Chaiwala, one thing that caught me, which made me love your shop straight away, and my wife, Imran Khan. And, it's a thing that's close to a lot of people's hearts.
Yep.
Why is that in the shop?
So, again, I don't run a business like a business. I'm not a businesswoman. I don't see myself as a conventional businesswoman. I wear my heart on my sleeve. So for me, it's as a Muslim, that's when I introduce myself, my first thing is, I'm a Muslim, I'm Scottish, I'm Pakistani. But for me, it's one thing we say in Islam is you do not oppress someone, but you don't take oppression either. Imran Khan was a voice of reason for our home country. So when he came, in a few decades ago and was like, I want change, I want this, watching him in 2013, 2014, and then having the elections and everything, his honesty, his integrity, his principles, he awakened a generation.
Yeah.
For a lot of the time, you get a lot of people here, you get a lot of people around the world that will always say, without me getting too political here, but will be like, what's the point of voting? We're not going to vote. Nothing ever changes. Okay. But by you not doing anything, you're just encouraging that.
Yeah.
So until one person makes that change, you need to go with it. The fact he got up and he challenged, the hierarchy.
The gangsters.
The wannabe families that are always in power. For us, that was a big thing. And when he was taken the way he was, we were very upset as a family generally, but also as being a proud Pakistani. So for us, it was like this was our silent protest. I'm not telling you to love him. I'm not telling you to support him. I support him. So in my shop, I do what I want to do, you know.
Yeah.
So in my shop, I have a big Palestine flag. I have a big poster of Imran Khan. I have a world map. And on that world map, you know, I scribbled out a country
I know.
and I put in Palestine
Aye.
because it's my shop, I'll do what I want.
Of course.
So that's why even Imran Khan is by silent protest. If you come in and the amount of people, the love we have got, don't get me wrong, I'm sure there's a few people that have come in and kind of looked at him and, ugh, right? But we have, for every one person that, you know, looks the nose up at Imran Khan, there's 99 that come in there, say Salam, Murshid, high-five him, take pictures with him. You know, they love him. So for me, it's my silent protest. That's all it is.
You know the 1% that turn their nose up? We just have one name for them.
That's okay. They're entitled to their own opinion.
Oh.
That's democracy.
I know. But anyway, we won't talk about the 1%. I was going to ask you actually, speaking about Imran Khan being Pakistani, and this is something that people sometimes might struggle with. British Asians, do you think they struggle with identity?
Absolutely. See, our parents were the first generation when they came in here. They came into a country that went against everything they were brought up to believe. Now, we're the torn generation because what happened with us, we were the second generation. We came into a country with the principles of back home, but visually we are seeing the Western world the way it should be. So when we were growing up, there was definitely, you know, challenges then as well. Now you've got the third generations, i.e. my children, and there definitely is a problem because they're growing up now in an environment where we're a wee bit more lenient because our parents were a bit more stricter. Because of that, there's always going to be problems with identity.
Yeah.
Do you feel, see, just touching on that and going back a bit to what you were saying earlier about the older generation coming in at Desi Dhaba? Did it better than you. Do you feel that when you think about like the Western world and like even like how my palate would be, like is it a mixture of like trying to still stay in the present and like trying to attract that type of customer, or is it trying to make it feel like home and have people come in and like how does that change for you?
Right, I'll tell you, funnily enough, the thing is, people see spice and there's a lot of people that have got burnt taste buds now, right? Because spice does not mean homemade and it doesn't mean flavoursome. Our mothers, when they cooked, it's not like they just added red chilli powder. It's they cooked and they made food with love. Our food now, I don't take that much spice, but there's a lot of flavour in the food but there's a lot of flavour in the food that I create. We live in Scotland, we live in Glasgow, we're very diverse. So over the last 60, 70 years, when you look at people, so you can look at people and think, okay, this person's brown, they're Asian, they're going to love spice. They don't. And then I've got Scottish customers that walk in and they are chalk white and they're like, hen, that's no spicy. And it's like, well, should we run some green chilies through this? So again, tastes have adapted, people have changed, and cooking in itself, even though it's homegrown, keep in mind, I always say this to people, when you are small and your mum cooks, right, or your dad cooks, or whoever's the person in the house cooking, they might not be a great cook, they might actually be quite rubbish. But if you were grown with that taste for up until the 18 years at least, that's an acquired taste. Now, when you go somewhere and you're going to have that acquired taste, when you come and you taste something that tastes similar, you won. You've already won. This is why I say, I'm sure there's women out there, there's men out there that cook far better than what we're giving you, right? We do a great job, but there's also people that do a better job, but we're not here competing with them. We are just there to be relatable. So when you come, you're in a home away from home.
Oh, it is. Got those kind of vibes in there as well.
Oh yeah, we make them really feel homelike. And see, and the funny thing is, it's there to suit a number of people. So you've got people that are here, you've got the older generation that come, and you know, now we've got a big influx of students coming and people coming from Pakistan, India, Nepal, all these other places. So when they come in and they'll sit and they'll see the charbite and they want to go sit on it straight away, they'll can be like, yeah, knock yourself out. They'll be sitting there and they're like, and they've got qawwalis playing in the back and they've got Imran Khan there and you've got my staff are all women and they're all shouting at each other, so it already sounds like home. Like there's women in the back kitchen just fighting, right?
Yeah.
But when I say fighting, they're not really, it's just the way we talk in the Desi culture.
Yeah.
And, you know, and they're like, oh my God, it feels just like home. And it's like, do you want to feel a bit more like home? Like, and snatch the mobile. I'm only joking, we don't do that. But it's like, we can do that if you want to.
Exactly.
If you really want to have that Desi experience. But no, seriously, no phones have ever gone missing. And anyone that has left it has always found it later on due to trackers. I'm only joking because we're honest and we give it back.
See, when speaking of all women working in the kitchen, I've been in a few kitchens and when it's all guys and we all swear a lot. The women get into it? No? Do you not curse?
No, we don't curse.
No?
Women are very different.
What do you
creatures.
do then?
No. So see, women are very catty. So we don't curse. But we do, as far as like, they throw digs without actually insulting.
Oh,
so
it's even
it's
worse.
Like, yeah, it's even worse. This is what I'm saying. Men still get out of their system by pushing, shoving and just, you know, but I see the women and a bit like, didn't wash that properly, that cup was still greasy, right? Or then you can have the other one where like, that roti was a bit too fat, or you know, I just feel that was a bit too burnt.
Hurtful
that
stuff
was
like
undercooked. So the women will have their little way without actually going down, stooping to that level. They'll go a wee bit further and be a bit like, you know, but it's always a laugh. Because see, the women, like I said, I've got different women. I've got students working with me. I've got women that have been in this country for many years, and they all gel. Do they like it? I doubt they probably do, but they all get on.
They work as a team.
Yeah, they work as a team because they know that at the end of the day they have to work as a team. We've got a system in place, so when we're all there, and the funny thing is, people don't realise. See, women are far harder to work with than men are, and sometimes when the women are actually in the kitchen and they can be really loud, not realising because we're under the canopy. So with us, we're shouting at each other because we can barely hear because of the fan.
Yeah.
But their voices are travelling to the other side of the dhaba and people are actually sitting there like, oh my God, like, oh, what's going on? And they're listening.
Drama.
And the drama. And it's like, my niece is already on it and saying, you know, she's like, you know, we need to do like a kind of big brother kind of thing in the dhaba. I was like, listen, don't even.
Another entrepreneur.
I mean, don't even, but she's got all these great ideas. And the funny thing is, see, when we first started our dhaba business, when we were doing it in the car, we didn't even have a canopy. And the place would be smoked out, proper Desi vibes. It's like you would actually get the feels. It's like you're choking. It's like yeah. And we actually had to. It was only now. See, when I even got this one, when we got the proper restaurant, I only managed to afford to get a proper canopy this time. Like we had one in before, and it was great. It was put up, and it did the job based on how much we had.
Yeah.
Now 2 years after, like a year into it, I managed to get in touch with Brother Shockett from Jigsaw, and he actually put the canopy on, and it's so funny, right? Because we approached him, and he's put that fan on, and now we can't hear ourselves, so we're shouting, but everyone can hear us.
Yeah. Oh, so funny. We've got some quick fire round questions. You can ask these, so you need to answer these. First thing that comes to mind.
Oh, sugar.
Right, okay. So one sentence, no overthinking. See?
Okay.
All right. Chai or coffee?
Chai.
Oh. Sweet chai or kadak? I hope I'm pronouncing that correct.
Okay.
That's right.
For me, it would have to be karak.
Right, okay. I'm not going to pronounce the rest
No,
of these.
it's okay.
He's definitely sold me down the river. Paratha or roti?
Roti.
Saag or dal?
Dal.
One dish everyone must try.
Oh God, I don't want to overthink it, but it's like biryani.
Biryani? Good shout. Early mornings or late nights?
Early mornings.
Nice. Biggest lesson business has taught you? It's deep.
Oh, biggest lesson I think is count on yourself.
Love it, love it. One word customers would use for you in particular?
For me, sugar, I don't know. Talkative.
One word you'd use for yourself?
Talkative.
Comfort or ambition?
Ambition.
Ambition, I like it.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Interesting.
We check those words before we do.
I should have put some harder words in for
I know,
you.
Christ.
I thought I'll do a few. Right, before we get to the wrap up stage, I've got a few questions that are like your headline TikTok questions,
Okay.
yeah. So, Okay, so I'm going to ask some of these. They're true or false, but then you can back up your answer. Chai brings people together more than food. True
Absolutely, 100% true.
And why is that?
Because if you think about it, what is it? It's like when you look at people, what's it they resonate over? Like when it's like, so come for a cuppa. It doesn't matter what country you're from, wherever you are. When you used to when you used to even put your TV on and you're watching Coronation Street in East End, it's like, come in for a cuppa. Let's come. Chai, tea, coffee, whatever you want, will bring you together.
Do you know? Sorry, just before you go to the next one, see that like thing you done like that? It's like it's pure, it's comfort, and it's like when you've got a hot drink, it just
it's almost
totally.
like, it's like you can be in the worst of moods and everything else,
and it'll just settle you.
and the minute you have that, you're like calmed. You're like, okay, life is better again.
Yeah, I like how you summarised that. Okay, so true or false, and why? Women have to work twice as hard to be respected in business.
False. They need to work 10 times as hard.
I'm not going to argue with that. I can believe that. I don't even know what this one means, but I'll say it and you can tell me if you understand it right.
Okay.
I read it to myself before. Community matters more than bank loans.
Absolutely. 100%. Look, the bank loan can give you the money. Whether you flourish in that or not, they've just done a logical thing. They've done a thing that's going to help you.
Yeah.
They've made you the bridge.
But how do you spend it?
You need the community to walk into it, walk over it.
You need that footfall.
The community needs to be there to support you, because the bank's giving you the money,
Yeah.
but the community is who's feeding you.
Yeah, no, good. That makes sense now. I couldn't understand what that meant.
There you go, bridging people.
So, food is culture, not just calories.
100%.
Yeah, I had a feeling after this chat, we're going to say that now. Success can feel lonely.
I wouldn't know. I've not reached it yet, because I don't think success, what most people feel success is, I don't feel success is that. For me right now, I feel like a prisoner, and I'll be honest. It's not because you might think, oh well, you're sitting here, so you must have, you must have smashed it, and that fair enough. For me, success is going to be the day where I don't need to actually think of work.
Yeah.
I've lived enough. I need to think of my afterlife, and I know it sounds very morbid,
No, not at all.
but for me, success is going to be contentment when I don't need to actually worry about, is the daba open, is the cooker working, is there another flood, is there this, is there all these things. So if you're saying about success, I'm nowhere near it yet.
Okay. Desi food carries memories.
Oh, absolutely, because when you were small, whether food is one of those things that you grew up with. How many times do you go somewhere and you go, oh, my mum used to make this, on my granny, or you had something, a back in the day dish that you probably won't even have now. So when you eat a certain food, like I said, we've had customers that take the first bite, whether it's biryani, whether it's paratha, whether it's dal, and break down.
Yeah.
And I know I said it like, and they break down like it's something we want to see. We don't, but it's happened so often now that it's become one of those things. And for us, it's like very heartwarming, upsetting for the person, but also very heartwarming to feel, that
You're taking them to a moment, and
absolutely.
that's how their body's reacting.
Yep.
No, you know what I mean. You know,
How you said it.
I know again. I know that but Z knows what I mean. I get what you're saying. Like, it must take a lot for them in that instant if they've lost a loved one or anything like that, for that first bite, and think that's how.
That's what home is.
Yeah,
that's what you think when we talk about food.
Why though?
We say home is where the heart is.
Yeah.
What's near the heart is your stomach. What you're, we're not just fed with knowledge. We're fed with,
Yeah.
See, when you said body reacts, it reminded me, Blavo thought it'd be funny to use one of his extremely spicy sauces when Abdul Rahim was here.
Oh.
And his plan was we would put it on crisps, but for me and him, we would use like ketchup and we would give him the spicy one.
Oh, okay.
But he
I
didn't.
see him go red. He's awfully fair complexion.
See how he reacts.
So I can imagine.
Okay, Zaitoon, we're going to wrap up, right? But where do you see Desi Dhaba Chaiwala in the next 5 years? What's your future plans with things?
To be honest, like I said, when we first got into this, it was just to keep my dad occupied. I'm a strong believer in rizq.
Of course.
But the only person that knows about that is the Almighty. So for me, I strive, I fight every day, but I never see an ending. I don't, because the way I see it is every day is different. I don't know where I'm going to be. It's like if someone asked me 7 years ago, you know, do you think you'd be doing this? I'd be like, no, probably not.
Yeah.
So the thing is, I'm not there for the big profits. I'm not there to make a big.
Yeah.
I'm just doing what's keeping me going at the moment. I love doing what I'm doing. Me and my dad have worked extremely hard to get to where we are. So it's to keep that going. So we're still doing it. If life throws, you know, a curveball, something better comes up in terms of, you know, life comes up more blissful and don't need to worry about work. You know, that's great. But if not, going to just carry on grafting away.
And hope that your dad doesn't give you another ultimatum.
Oh no, I know, I'm done with all those ultimatums.
No, he's good. That still makes me laugh that he pranked me that time.
Oh yeah, I know, he's a bit of a joker, he really is.
He got me. Normally I'm doing the jokes. So, before we wrap up, could you tell the guys where to find you?
Yep, so we're in 21 4th Street, Pollock Shields, Glasgow, G41 2ST, right next to Strawberry Garden.
Awesome. So, thank you for coming on and telling us a great story.
Thank you.
You learn that. This is why I love doing this, because I learned so much about your story, your family story, your dad, and why the business is there, and the people will resonate with that as well. And John, thanks. Thanks for that. You had your break, now you're back.
As always.
I'm going to get you more of these kind of ones next time.
Go for it. I love a challenge.
Okay, so guys, that's a wrap today on today's episode of a Judge Reviews podcast. Big love to the sponsors keeping the show alive: Steak Lounge and Grill, Mr. Chef, Figo's, Halal Kebab House keeping it halal. Your support lets us keep shining a light on businesses shaping Scotland's food culture. I'm Jay from the Judge Reviews, and I'll see you in the next episode.